Hi, Kate Creasy here again, just trying to entice you a little bit with some Stampin' Up! Fun and to let you know that while we're all sequestered away trying to stay healthy and keep our mind on something besides what's going on in our world today, thought I'd try and bring you a little bit of card making fun. So this is the card I'm going to show you how I made today. It's a fairly simple card. It's made with a base of Whisper White Thick, 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded to make a side fold A2 card. Then the colors I used are Pineapple Punch. That's the colored cardstock, so those are the only two colors of cardstock. And then I also added some bling. You can see some little blings here. Those are from the Noble Peacock rhinestones that are in the main catalog. The stamp set I used is called Birthday Jubilee Bundle. It's on page 35 of your mini catalog, and we'll be getting started. Here we go. So here's the card base, and we're just going to fold that and burnish the edge so that it'll lay nice and flat, like that. Then this piece of Pineapple Punch is cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and we are going to attach that with snail. To the front of the card, and because of the way it's cut, it's going to leave just a 1/8 inch white border, so very narrow white border all the way around. Then the next piece is just Whisper White Yellow regular, and I cut it 4 by 5 1/4, and I embossed it. You can see that lovely embossing with the Coastal Weave embossing folder. And just a little tip so you know, in case you don't, the newer embossing folders only require the Big Shot platform and this blue plate. And I always put mine in with the seam going in first and then run it through. Just a little tip for your information. I keep bumping my camera. I'm sorry for that. So I embossed it to make it this beautiful coastal weave color pattern. Now I'm going to attach that as well with snail. A couple extras in the middle. And again, it's going to have just a 1/8 inch yellow border. Just a really fine border there, all the way around. Okay, that's ready, and we'll set it aside for now. Next, I took this die that's in the stamp and die bundle, and I cut out two pieces, one from white and one from yellow. And then I cut the yellow one in half lengthwise, like this. Add a little tombow to the back of the white piece, and then we're just going to attach these with a little bit of a border. Let's see, about like that. So it creates a nice little background. So it'll stand out against the white. And I used Memento ink to stamp the sentiment. And I got the sentiment from this stamp set called Layered with Kindness. And I'm going to stamp it with Memento ink right in the middle. I'm going to try and stamp it straight. We'll see how I do. I've gotten it crooked twice now, so let's see if I can do it better. Nope, still a little high on one side, but don't look. Okay, that's the sentiment piece. We're going to set it aside for now. We're done with that. Next, I stamped and cut out with the dies. They have dies, these two dies, and I stamped the flower, whatever you call it, lost my words. Stamped this and two of these little flowers and cut them out with the dies. And they're stamped with Memento ink as well. And now we're going to color them. So I wanted some bright spring colors, as you could see in the card when I first showed it to you. So the leaves I colored with Granny Apple Green. And I am not talented enough yet at this videoing stuff to do fast forward and voiceovers and all that fancy stuff that some of our more talented demonstrators use. So you get to watch me color each little piece. It won't take too long. It actually goes pretty quickly. And so we get those leaves colored. And this is more, I'm not really doing any shading or anything. I'm not really looking for realistic per se, but more of a folk art style. And folk art didn't do a lot of shading. So there's, and then I took over the pin end and just ran it along the edges of those stem lines. And it makes it just a hint of color on those stem lines. Don't worry about being perfect. You just want a little bit of green to show. Next, I did the big flowers and this with Pineapple Punch, and I just colored the whole flower front like this. I'm going to come back later and color in those little center pieces. And we don't have to worry about the very, very centers, because if you remember from the card when I showed you at the beginning, we have some bling on there, and that is those peacock, noble peacock rhinestones that we're going to put in the centers just to brighten it up even more. So there's our yellow flowers. And then I'm going to put Calypso Coral into these. And you can see it covers the yellow really nicely. That's why I went with the lighter color first. And it looks just fine coloring over the Pineapple Punch with the Calypso Coral. And if you keep your brush fairly light, just hold it just barely touching the paper, you've got plenty of control to color those middles. They're not so tiny that you can't color them. There we go. There's that one. And there's that one. Okay, then I'm going to use Lovely Lipstick, and I'm going to color these little tiny clusters here. When I was teaching kindergarten, I called these bloop flowers, teaching the kids how to draw little flowers for their projects. They go, "Oh, I can't draw a flower, Mrs. Creasy." And I'd say, "Oh, you can do bloop flowers. Anybody can do bloop flowers." And they were always so tickled. So there's the Lovely Lipstick. And then the next one is going to be, let's see what I use, Mango Melody. And I'm going to color these ones in with that. Like that. And I'm going to color in these flowers with the same thing. There is sunshine outside today. I might have to get out there and do a little bit outside today as well. It's safe at least to go out into my yard, and thank Jesus I have a yard. Okay, then this last one is Poppy Parade, and that's what I'm going to color these little pieces with. Again, if you're using the brush end, if you're just barely touching the paper, it colors really nicely. You can see how easy it is. And there we go. Doesn't that look nice and springy? Oh, I didn't get this too. Okay, so let me put the lid on that Memento I have sitting over here before I get my fingers in it. Okay, then I attached this to the front of the card with dimensionals. So let me put some dimensionals on that. I also attached the sentiment with dimensionals, so we'll put some on that. And just one on each end, and one on each side. That'll be good enough. And one of these will have a dimensional as well. Might as well get that one while we're here. Okay. Get those backs peeled off. Okay, so bring the card back in, and we'll attach the sentiment first. And if you just lay it on there lightly, oh boy, I laid down pretty nice, just like that, kind of towards the top. And then I put the flowers on there, and I wanted that edging to show just a little bit, so I'm going to put it just slightly below and centered from side to side, just like that. And then I felt like it needed a little something down here, so I put one here. And then this one is just going to go right up here on the corner of the sentiment, just like that. And then we need those rhinestones to add a little bit of bling, and my tool. And I put a large green one in the center of this flower. And then I like these little pinkish ones for the centers of these. And for the centers of my other flowers, I think I'll just use the smaller green ones so it matches the big one, because they kind of look the same. There's two different sizes on the bling. Okay, and there it is. The card is complete. I hope you enjoyed the video today. I hope it worked well. And if you choose to order, my order goes in on the 14th of April. And you can either send me your order via email or to kcreasy54@gmail.com, or you can order online. Just be sure that when you do, you designate me as your demonstrator. Thank you very much.